What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I am one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Chief in the streets, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Jack Gibb. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. It's been a big day.
Big
but that
day.
makes it playing easy. You know what I mean?
Day. You know how big a day it's been, mate? I didn't go to bed last night.
I fucking saw you did something at 4 a.m. and I was like, It's really late.
I just didn't bother at that point. I didn't bother. I was like, do you actually know what I did? And I admitted this on the reaction to the Game Awards, which we will be talking about tonight. The Infinity Nikki trailer came up. And I said, Jake, who did the reaction with me today, I was like, do you want to be disappointed in me? And he's like, yes, I do. And I said, I was playing this at 5 a.m. I could have been playing Dragon Age. I could have been playing Astrobot for review. But I was like, I see Infinity Nikki and I'm like, yeah, I should probably jump into this at this point. Like, this is a perfect game to jump into at 5 a.m. So I jumped into Infinity Nikki, and you guys want to be even more disappointed in me? It's now installed on my PlayStation and my phone. So we're locked in. We're locked in, guys.
Ah, Kyle.
You guys can't see it. Jack's shaking his head. He's not happy. He's mad at me. I'm in so much trouble.
I will say, you don't seem tired, so...
No, I'm locked in.
You could have lied through that. You know, like you could have.
You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, right? I've had a really full-on last couple of weeks. And last night I was like, I should go to bed. I should be hyped. I should be ready for the Game Awards. But there was just, it's like a kid that is waiting to wake up Christmas morning. This was sort of like a Christmas morning for me. So I was just so excited to get in. I'd been promised the world. I'd been told that I was going to be super hyped. So I was just like, let's go, let's get in. And to be honest, it didn't disappoint. We will get into the Game Awards in a moment. But I think the big question is, you haven't watched it, but you know what was announced, basically.
I watched the first hour
with
my full attention.
You have watched the best hour.
I watched the following half an hour pretty closely, but I was smashing some bloody fish at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And the following, 2 hours, 3 hours, where the fuck it was, I dipped in and out very heavily to the point where Jake put in the Discord that weird looking Concord trailer, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is a Naughty Dog game. So
Bro, I cannot wait to talk about that. We're gonna go through everything that was announced in order. We're gonna quickly go through some of the pre-show stuff, but because the show is stacked. But also I
did miss the pre-show, so yeah.
Pre-show was okay. I need to take this time also to apologize to absolutely nobody. I don't know. I've said I had to apologize, but I don't know what I'm apologizing for. So, anybody who thinks they wrote an apology? F you. I'm not doing it. We'll skim through some of the pre-show stuff, because in my actual article about everything announced at the Game Awards, I only touched on one pre-show game, which we'll get to. But there was a lot of games, like One Moving Away. We got a gameplay trailer for Slay the Spire 2. Dave the Diver is getting a new expansion in the jungle. Shadow Labyrinth is I think a take on whatever the hell that secret level was about Pac-Man, because it's a weird looking Pac-Man game. Steel Paws is coming to Netflix games. There was a game called Kiora. Solasta 2 looked great. A Jackass game called Rematch. That was a big topic of conversation during the reacts, where Jack is going to make us play this game. And I made the dumb statement of yo, it's like Rocket League, but with people.
I get it though.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was said it, and then I'm like, yeah, because Rocket League is just fucking soccer with cars. This is just soccer, but it gives off that Rocket League sort of vibe.
There's not many soccer games where you sort of play as the players. You're always God, and that's fine. I'm not complaining, but yeah, Rocket League sort of broke that, I guess.
And it's from the Sifu guys, and Sifu is one of my favorite games, so I'm keen to see how this all works. But also, if there's no Ted Lasso DLC, what was the point, guys? So keep that in mind when you're doing what you're doing. So yeah.
Video game, that'd be nice.
Oh, there's also a game called Thick as Thieves that we're just going to touch on here as well.
Yeah, it looked alright.
It looks okay, but here's my problem.
These have been Game Pass.
Right? Yeah, true. There's a lot of people... So this is Warren Spector's new game. You know who Warren Spector is, right? Epic Mickey fame, Deus Ex. Yeah, big deal, right? Thief, which is what this game is the spiritual successor to. Here's my thing. I watched this trailer. This trailer plays, and I'm like, okay, so this is doing for Thief what Veilguard did for Dragon Age, but people like this. Like, it's so similar in vibe, all the way down to like the slowdown and like the this guy and this guy, and it's like a cartoony evolution on what was effectively a very serious, very adult game. But I'm keen. It looks great.
Look, as someone who didn't touch Thief with a 10-foot pole, this looks great.
It looks good. It looks good. I'm sure I'll get yelled at for that somewhere along the line by somebody. But let's jump into the Game Awards for 2024. Now, the only game from the pre-show that I put in my article is going to make so much sense because it was the first game we saw, and it made me squeal like a wee little bitch. It was a new 2D Ninja Gaiden game from the Blasphemous team. A freaking Ninja Gaiden game. Let's go. When I saw Ryu Hayabusa, I was like, there's no freaking way. I personally, watching it, was like, this has got to be like The Messenger. It looks so like The Messenger. And then, yeah, the Blasphemous team are making it. It's coming out in 2025. It's called Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It's, from Koei Tecmo. I'm super excited about it. I'm not going to, like, harp on too long because we've got a lot of games to get through, but yeah, that was a nice little surprise during the pre-show. Then the actual show started, and we were greeted by the wonderful Todd Howard and Troy Baker as they handed out the first award. But what was so magical about that whole moment was we found out exactly how much money Jeff Keighley had put into this show when Harrison Motherflippin' Ford was revealed to be there and to announce the first freaking award. And my goodness, when you start your show with Harrison Ford, you better end with a banger. Like, that was such a hype moment for me. Myself and Jake were like, what the hell is going on? And then it was like, cool, let's head into our first announcement. And holy shit, what a first announcement. We got our first look at The Witcher 4. And it's like it's like officially 4. Like, there was a lot of talk online about whether or not it was just going to be called, like, The Witcher Rise of the Panties or something like that. But no, it is like The Witcher 4. It's official. Siri is
so good.
It looks so freaking good. Siri is the star of the show. And look, I cannot look, I know I'm trying to curve my swearing, but I cannot effing wait for this game. Like, holy hell. It looks so good. Great trailer. Was it long? It was, but my God, did it deserve every second it was up. It was so good. I think Siri...
It was long, wasn't it, actually? Did you say that?
So long. I think Siri has a different voice actor. That's what... It sort of threw me. It was probably the same person, but I think it's just... The way they're portraying her now feels way more adult, so I appreciate that. And of course, at the very end, we do hear Geralt's voice, meaning that the actor for Geralt, who got yelled at when he accidentally revealed he was in this game, will hopefully be safe now, and CD Projekt Red will leave him alone, because we're now aware. But yeah, Witcher, mate, exciting. Are you going to play it? Did it hype you up?
Look great. I just... barely got the capacity to finish a lap of Bathurst on Forza these days, so I don't know if I'm going to have the capacity for a Witcher game, but look good.
Look great. From here, we moved on to another massive announcement, a new freaking Elden Ring game. We're getting a new standalone adventure, jam-packed new abilities, bosses, and the inclusion of co-op. It's called Elden Ring Night Reign, and Jake and me were very much of the opinion when we were watching it that it was like a battle royale. We were so convinced when we saw a ring slowly enclosing around this world, and then at some point it gave us like extraction shooter vibes. But a co-op Elden Ring game is awesome, and like we're already talking about jumping in, it's very different from anything we've gotten from a Souls game before, which makes a lot of sense. But it's also kind of, this was so out of the blue. Like, this didn't leak. This didn't appear anywhere.
I quite like the announcement, to be honest. I quite like that the game exists. I think co-op mixes it up, and it's not like people have had to wait years for the next Elden Ring, and then it's co-op and it's different. Like, as in, it's coming straight after the DLC and after the game, and I think it actually feels all right. I did notice Jeff tripping over himself to say the word standalone.
Mm,
Like he put
yeah.
so much effort into that word
Yeah.
with the whole DLC Game of the Year situation. But
Oh, mate,
no, good, solid announcement.
the Muppets took the piss out of him for that as well. Let us not forget the old
The
men from the
Muppets.
Muppets were there, bro. They
Oh, I
they were the best
fucking
part.
hate them so much.
They were the best part of the show.
Worst part of the show.
They were the best. Did you hear their joke about Kojima?
Honestly, as soon as like they came on screen, I just like went back to.
Oh, bro, that was such a good joke. Later on in the show, they were like, "Oh, Hideo Kojima's here. He's Jeff Keighley's friend. Like, he's friends with Jeff Keighley." And then the other one was like, "Yeah, does Kojima know that though?" It was so good, bro. It was so good. They even took the piss out of him for the DLC thing, being nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and then they showed up after there was a
Oh,
part.
they are actually the audience, aren't they?
Yeah. There was a part where where Jeff announced 4 awards in a row, and then they appeared. And then they said, "Man, if only the show was that quick." The whole show was that quick. It was so good. They took the piss out of him the entire time.
I might have been wrong about the
Bro,
Muppets. Honestly, the first joke was like lame as fuck. It was like, "Oh, didn't you sell out all the tickets?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
The show's just started. Like, it's probably people taking a piss or something. Like,
Bro, honestly, like that when they came back the next 2 times, they slayed him. You should go back and watch just their bits. It's so funny. And
Yeah, right.
they like zoom in on Kojima and he's got no idea what's going on. It is freaking wholesome as hell. He's just sitting there blank faced looking around. Like, it's so funny. Oh, so good.
It's so awkward how often they jam a camera in someone's face,
Oh,
and then clearly the camera's been there for 7 minutes, and the people are just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, no one's happy about it. Like, everyone seems so upset to be there, and yeah, but no, it was. I think the worst moment of which I haven't put in here because it wasn't an announcement, but I think the worst moment of like people being on camera was when Snoop Dogg was performing, and they just kept going to all the awkward people who.
There was some people like singing and dancing in the background. Like,
Yeah.
take the camera up there. Fuck.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man, it was crazy. Great times. Next, we were treated to a teaser trailer for the next game from Fumito Ueda, who is the legendary.
I don't know who the fuck that is or what the fuck this game is, but you let me know when that's coming out because I want to hear about it.
Mate, it's from the guy who did Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian.
I know a lot of people that love those games. I've never touched them in my life, and that might have been a mistake because this looks crazy.
Bro, this feels very much like they're taking what they did with Shadow of the Colossus and putting you in charge of the Colossus. Like, you will be in control. And I think that is such an interesting idea. Because, like, those 3 games, they've all been fantasy-based. This feels like a Shadow of the Colossus sci-fi game. So I'm really excited to see what they do.
Very sci-fi.
Yeah.
Dude, The Last Guardian, isn't that a game that took like 12 years to come out?
Yeah, 14, I think.
And then like sort of just was good, but like didn't really have the impact it needed to or something. Is that
Yeah,
something
it was kind of like it wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't amazing enough to justify the amount of time it took to come out. And you remember when I was like clearing out my drawers and I just found a sealed Last Guardian Collector's Edition, and I'm like, that's right, I was supposed to open that. So who knows, we might open that one soon.
Sounds good. That trailer though, the way it was like 40 seconds, 35 seconds, 30. That's a fucking trailer.
I only have one problem with the trailer, and I actually said this during the reacts. I'm like, do you think he regrets getting to the shoulder and waiting there for 5 seconds?
I fucking hope so. Like, I think that's like.
He deserved it. This one's so very far away, though. Yeah, very cinematic. It's so far away, but I'm also hyped as hell. There are a couple of games here that are clearly very far away, but regardless, I'm hyped.
Grandkids by the time this comes out.
Probably, man. Probably. Then we got a trailer for The Outer Worlds 2, and by golly, does this game look like a bit of fun. They love poking fun of themselves. They were like, hey, Knights of the Old Republic 2. What was the other 2? They had 2 games that they did too. I was like, hey, we did Knights of the Old Republic 2, and then we did this game 2, and then they were like, and then we did Fallout 3, 2, New Vegas. It's so good, bro. It's so good. Now it's like, now we're doing an original game, The Outer Worlds 2. Like, so good. Okay, now there are a few times I'm going to say this. I think I say it 3. I'm going to say it 3 times tonight. This is one of my games of the show, and it's
Outer World.
no, no.
Oh.
Joseph Fares's new game, Split Fiction. Holy shit! This is how you. This is how you show off a game. What an awesome concept! It's so good. Jake is thinking about coming out of streaming retirement, so me and him can play this. It looks absolutely brilliant. From start to finish, that trailer had me. And I think Yosef knew he had everybody. He is such a freaking joy to have up on stage. I love nothing more that when people try to praise him, he says, hang on, wait a second, I'm not done. I have more to say. It's like, mate, you keep talking, don't you ever stop. Split Fiction looks so freaking cool. What a unique concept for a game. I feel like this was him sitting down with the studio saying, guys, what do we want to make? 50% said fantasy, the other 50% said sci-fi, and he's gone, we'll do both. And this is what we got, and it's freaking awesome. And what a great name. Split Fiction. Great freaking name. I don't know how you feel about this, but
Looks great.
It looks so good. He's continuing his dream of just keeping people on the couch together, having people play games together, and I have to commend him for it. It's freaking awesome. If EA puts out anything, they just need to keep putting out this man's games. So thank you to them for that. Like, it's and I mean, he can be so cocky, bro. When every game you've dropped has been an absolute freaking banger, when people see you at the Game Awards and they're locked and loaded for whatever the hell you're about to say, you've made it. You're him. So excited. So excited.
I still remember the first time he was on stage and it just getting out of control.
Oh,
I'm so glad this is where we are now.
Bro, it's so good. I feel like he's just got to be there. Like, even next year when he's not got anything to announce.
He's part of the law now.
Yeah, he just gets up on stage, grabs the microphone, says the F word, and leaves. Like, that's all I need for it to be a good show. Like, that boosts it to an 8 out of 10 every year. Like, if he's there and he swears, it's on. But yeah, very excited for that game. That game spoke to me and was an absolutely gorgeous game, and I thought it was amazingly shown. So very cool. And it's another one that's like you can play online with a friend, because if one person purchases it, you can play with somebody with an online pass.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that. Next, we got a look at the gameplay reveal for a game called Steel Hunters, which gives off Mecha Break vibes if ever I've seen one. It's like Mecha Break cross Transformers. It is a free-to-play PvPvE shooter. It looks really cool, and the beta or the alpha, whichever one it is available now. If you guys want to participate, you go straight to Steam and request access. It's pretty quick. I did it after the show and got access about half an hour later. Haven't played it yet. Been doing a lot of other stuff. But yeah, Steel Hunters looks really cool. I would definitely suggest, if you're a mech fan, to have a look. Then we got to look at Black Frost, The Long Dark 2. It's a sequel. It looks great. I like that. Like, games like this are shown. Then we got Randy Pitchford came out on stage. Now, here's the thing.
Don't know if he should have.
I don't think he should have, but I appreciate him coming out on stage and not wasting our time. You know, could have pulled out a deck of cards and said, pick a card. Could have pulled out a magic wand, but he came out and he said, we're making Borderlands. I'm not wasting your time. Here's the trailer. And my goodness, what a trailer. It looked great. I'm invested. It was like a lot more than I thought we were going to see. We got to see the new planet, new enemy factions, and the new Vault Hunters. As well as some returning characters, which is always good to see. I just can't wait to see more now. I kind of want to see gameplay. Normally, I'm the kind of guy that's like, yeah, man, I'm good. Like, yeah, I'll see gameplay when I play it.
6 or 7 minutes of gameplay, wouldn't it?
I think a mission would be so good, because this so cool. And the villain, at the end of it, I was like, is that Handsome Jack? Like, are they going to pull a Handsome Jack? Because I don't know. There was just something about him that's like, I think you're going to be the next great villain. I think this guy, whoever he is going to be a banger. So hopefully he does turn out to be the next great Handsome Jack. So I look forward to it. But yeah, Borderlands 4. Mate, are you excited to jump in and play? I'm excited. Are you excited?
I think it's one of those games where, like, if like everyone's getting into it and you'll need an extra person, you would just have to ask and I would buy it. But if no one needs me, I don't think I would. You know what I mean? Like I think I could be just like flip that easily.
Hey, we're all gonna play it. We need an extra person, just so you're aware.
So I can buy a copy.
We got him. We got him. After this, we got the announcement that we were all waiting for, and it was just not who we thought it was. We got a Tekken 8 character reveal, right? It was leaked that it was going to be the main protagonist from Like a Dragon. It wasn't. We all wanted Tifa from Final Fantasy. What did we get? We got Clive Rosefield from Final Fantasy 16. I'm not mad about it. People are going to be mad about it. I think the thing that angers me the most is they knew we wanted Tifa. We would have been fine with the Yakuza character, but they picked Clive from the latest Final Fantasy that they keep trying to make like happen in a way that it's like they still want people to be talking about it, even though it's like, I think it had its time. It's an amazing game. A lot of people don't like it for some reason. They're stupid. I think what makes me mad is the trailer that shows him off is so good. It's so good. Like, it works so well. Like, I can't wait to play him. Like, I'm so mad that I'm hyped about it. Like, I should be like everybody else, like, we wanted Tifa! But I see the trailer and I'm like, oh, but he looks so damn good! Like, I can't wait! But yeah, Clive's coming to Tekken. And I've seen some people online being like, this is so out of left field. Like, why would they put a Final Fantasy character in Tekken? They literally put the protagonist from the last Final Fantasy game in Tekken 7. So this is not unusual, everybody. Like, Noctis was in Tekken 7. Let's all calm down. I mean, Tekken 7 had freaking Negan from The Walking Dead. Let's all just calm down. This stuff isn't unprecedented, okay? It's pretty normal. Yeah. We got another trailer for Splitgate 2. Looking great. Can't wait to jump in. We then got a trailer for Mecha Break, which came with a whole bunch of new information, including they showcased the 3 different modes that are going to be available at launch: a 3v3 elimination mode, a 6v6 objective-based mode, and a PvPvE mode. Which is effectively like a raid. You get a big boss and you get like, it's like an extraction shooter as well. You like get different parts and you extract with them. They also announced that some of the modes now will not have a fixed loadout, whereas before some loadouts were fixed to whatever mech you were using. Now you'll have the opportunity to swap them out. So if you want to play a tank that is also a sniper, you can. If you want to take a sniper into battle that can now shoot machine guns, you can. They're also adding like gliders that have different weapons on board just to like mix up combat. Awesome, especially if you're such like a heavy tank and you've got people flying around. If you can get on one of these gliders, now you can fly around too and do absolute devastation. Really like that they're really advancing the game and adding to the game and really taking on board what the community want from the game. As someone that I went wild on the alpha back in the day. Like, there's a whole bunch of videos up on the channel. Just from this trailer alone, you can see that the game has evolved and it looks a lot better as well. Just like the fidelity, the graphics, like they've done a really good job. So I'm very keen for Mega Break to come out next year, which was also announced. They are dropping spring of next year.
Spring, our spring or spring?
No, it'll be like winter for us.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I'm on the radar of like who's announcing release dates in the second half of next year, and
no one.
Insane.
Oh man, it's a stacked year already. It's
ever been a year for COD to skip. It'd be this one.
Yeah, I'm so scared and excited as well, because a lot of people were like, a lot of developers are ready to drop dates. I read that they're ready to go, but a lot of them are refusing to drop a date until they know when GTA is coming out.
You'd be fucking stupid not to wait.
Yeah.
And then get out of the fucking way.
And it sounds like that's going to be pushed into 2026. So that should be an interesting one. Next, we got a couple of games from the developers of Yakuza. We got a look at the new Virtual Fighter game, which is going to have its own direct in a few days. I will probably be checking that out. I do enjoy Virtual Fighter. And I've been on a real fighting game kick the last year or two. Like, I've just been enjoying all the fighting games coming out. So I'm definitely keen to see what a new Virtual Fighter will bring to the table. And then we also got a look at Project Century. It looks sick as hell. It's set in 1915 Japan, and it is a new open-world Yakuza-style brawler game, and it looked amazing. Can't wait to check that out some more. Then I became psychic, and we got a trailer with dinosaurs, and me and Jake were trying to figure out what it was, and I'm like, it might be Turok. And then up on the screen it said it's Turok. So that was cool. I felt really smart. Turok Origins, which looks nothing like the other Turok games, which was crazy. It's crazy that an Origins game with Origins in the title looks nothing like the games that it's trying to tell you the story of. But I'm keen. It's a co-op shooter where you're going to take on some dinosaurs. I'm excited for it. This looks like a great Game Pass game. Just throwing that out there. I think that'll thrive on Game Pass. Then we got a trailer for a new update for Helldivers 2. We're going to Super Earth, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to defend the colonies. We're confronting new enemies, and we're also getting some new gear to do it. New weapons, new armor, and we are also getting a vehicle, the FRV Ride, with a mounted gun and just absolute sex appeal.
It's a four-seater Warthog, mate.
Yeah. The Illuminate are the new enemies that we're going to be fighting, and I'm keen. The update button has been pressed. It is going very slow because I'm trying to export a whole bunch of stuff, so my internet's going crazy right now. But I will be ready for the Helldive to jump straight back into Helldivers 2. Looks great. Jack, you are excited. I can tell.
So fucking excited. And that was before they even announced new content. I was just excited that the Helldivers guy came out to talk like a propaganda machine.
Yeah, that was sweet.
It was beautiful. He was magical. He was perfect. Gave Harrison Ford a run for his money.
Well, that was the guy from the trailer. Like they did a really good job of like when they made that trailer. He looks just like him. It's great.
So good.
They also announced a Helldivers controller, and you can be damn sure that the boys will be getting their hands on that controller and getting ready to dive with it.
I just don't play anything on PlayStation. It hurts. Like, I really want that controller, but it's just gonna sit there.
Mate, you can do it. I have faith in you. Then we got the final trailer. I'm going to call this the launch trailer for Warframe 1999, and they did it. They did enough in this trailer to make me go, Warframe is that game that everyone has played because it was free when it came out, and it was right when the new generation had launched, and everyone was looking for something to play. And then people stopped playing, but there were a lot of people that kept playing. And now it's getting to the point now where every time you see Warframe, it goes to your mind of like, I should really go back and check that out. And you just never do. But this thing, this 1999, like full like standalone game that's like free to play, I'm like, yeah,
might be the end.
Might be the time. Because they're adding a whole bunch of stuff, including like a romance and relationship system, a whole bunch of new armor, customization, weaponry, abilities. Everyone's doing it, man. They're adding a PvPvE mode, and it's I'm this might be the one that gets me to jump back in, honestly, and have a look. But yeah, keen. Are you the same about Warframe? Like played it when it came out and then just never touched it again?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, everything. You haven't said anything wrong. That all happened before we met. No, I think you're right. I remember having a couple of mates that were into it, and to be fair, they were really into it. Like they probably didn't drop off like I did, but it just hit at that moment where there was nothing else, honestly. And the game was fun, but it seems to have evolved a lot, and I think it's probably worth another go.
Yeah, fair. Next, we got a look at the Fey Break update for Pal World. Nice to see Pal World in the middle of a little bit of issue, having a little bit of issues right now. Nice to see they're still dropping some content. You love to see it. That is dropping on the 23rd, so it'll be the 24th for us here. So Christmas Eve, start collecting your pals because you're going to the Fey Break.
That's the day of the year I have plenty of spare fucking time.
Oh, mate, just so much time, so much time. Now, my next game of the show. Let me tell you, you guys are not ready for my reaction to this. I freaked the hell out because nowhere on God's good green earth did I think I would ever see Onimusha get a brand new game. They announced Onimusha Way of the Sword to the point where I was like, I went into a dream state where it was like happening, and I was like, there was a moment where I seen the gauntlet. I'm like, is this Onimusha? I'm like, no, it can't be Onimusha. Like I started having a conversation with myself, and then it popped up with Capcom, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like,
yeah, we're different people. Until Capcom popped up, I'm like, gee, the finals is getting crazy.
Jake said the finals, bro.
Oh, really?
He said the
okay.
finals. He said, "Oh, season of the finals. It's like the Japan map." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I seen the Gauntlet, and I'm like, "No." And he's like, "What game has red orbs?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then the Gauntlet,
Like, I don't know.
like, "That's only Musha." Like, I said it out, and I'm like, "Is this only Musha?" And I'm like, "There's no way." And then the Capcom thing popped up, and I had an argument with myself in my head. I'm like, "No, Capcom didn't develop Onimusha." And then I'm like, "Yes, they did." No, they didn't.
Make the finals.
Yeah, and then I said out loud, I'm like, Capcom didn't do Onimusha. Like, I was like arguing with myself, and then it popped up on screen and said Onimusha, and I just freaked out. I was like, yes, like, let's go. And then, yeah, I don't think, and the whole time, Jake just goes, "Oh, that Gauntlet's cool." I'm like, "Bro, let's go." I'm so hyped. I'm so excited for a new Onimusha, guys. Like, they need to remaster the other games or bring them to, like, PlayStation Premium or bring them to Game Pass now. They are great games. They are like when Kyle thinks back to his time wasted on the PS2, the Onimusha games are like right up there. And it was so like such like a like I don't know why I played them. I just remember putting hours into them. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid and you just were able to get your hands on some games.
I was gonna say it's probably one of those games that was just like happened to be at the front of the video shop or something. And you rented it for a weekend.
It's like I don't know how my dad knew to get all of them, but he did. You know what I mean? Like it was just I remember playing them all. I remember them, and they were just like so much fun. It was probably because like when I was a little kid, I was just obsessed with like Japan and samurai and stuff. So when he sees a guy on the front cover with the samurai sword and a cool looking gauntlet, he's like, my idiot son at home will play this. And then he just started buying them. I'd finish one, and then, "Oh, this new game came out. Yeah, give it to me. Like I want it." Sick as hell. And then okay, so I'm going to talk about these two games together, right? So we got the first Berserker Kazan launch trailer. It's release date trailer. It's launching March 27th, 2025. It's a DNF game, Dungeon and Fighter game. And then it was followed up by another Dungeon and Fighter game called Arad. It's crazy to me that first Berserker and this Arad, which looks like Genshin Impact, are from the same universe. Like Dungeon and Fighter the last couple of years have just been killing it. Just killing it with like all their like spin-off games, their fighting game, everything. So very, very cool. It's just crazy to me that they're like, they look so vastly different, but are from the same universe. It's crazy. We got a story trailer for Dying Light: The Beast. Looked great. We got to meet the villain of the piece, and just, you know, where Kyle Crane's back. If you know, you know. Then we got to look at a game called Stage Fright, and they make an E3 joke, and it was freaking amazing. It was great. Did you see the E3 joke?
No, I saw the trailer, but I didn't have a lot of audio.
Yeah, so basically the bit where they appear on the stage and they're like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "I don't know. I can't really see anything." One of the characters goes, "Then this never would have happened if we were at E3. It was so good, bro. Jeff took some shots, bro.
I did see the camera at one point like pan to him, and I was like, I need to. I remember thinking to myself, like, if I could hear it, I could probably understand it. But what the fuck's going on?
It was great. It was such a good shot.
The game ends up looking a bit to me like, you know, similar sort of split screen co-op to Old Mate's game. Joseph, was it Hazel Light?
Yeah, that's sick. It looks good.
So, Hello Games appears to be involved in the development of this. People who made what's that massive game? Whatever it was.
You can do it.
What I really want them to make, though, instead of all this other fucking adventurous bullshit they're making, whether it's too big for them or too small, whatever, I just want another Joe Danger. That's all I want.
Yeah, fair call.
I will forgive them for the sins of the last decade if they just make a little Joe Danger game for me.
Maybe when they're done with their No Man's Sky fantasy game, they'll get
No Man's Sky. That's it.
Yeah.
God, just let the sky cave in on it, please, and make it Joe Danger. Thank you.
I agree with you.
That's all I want.
Maybe one day. We then got the gameplay trailer.
Actually, sorry, can I just jump in again?
Yeah.
I would even take a Joe Danger mobile game at this point. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like out of everything, you've got a good opportunity of that happening. You got to be vocal. Get on Twitter and start telling people, and someone will go, "That's a great idea."
Now tell me about this next one, because I looked up again and I was like, this is one of those things that like could be big and incredible, but it doesn't look big and incredible if I'm being honest. So talk to me.
We got a gameplay trailer for Game of Thrones: The King's Road. Now,
It looks like the people from the TV show are in it.
yeah, that's the downside in my opinion. There's two downsides to this game. One, it's set during the time of the show.
Okay.
I said that
could be
during
hard.
the
That could be
react.
complicated.
Yeah, I'm just like, give me something set 1,000 years before. You know what I mean? I don't need all these people that I know where they're going. We can step away from the TV show universe. If you really want to branch out and expand the Game of Thrones universe, this mobile game, that's the second thing that's wrong with it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, this mobile game was your opportunity.
Oh, no wonder it's set during the TV show.
Yeah,
It's not for us.
It's not. It's for the regular Joe, and it's just so freaking annoying. So we're gonna move on from that game now. We got to look at a new Double Dragon game called Double Dragon Revive, brought to us by the sexy developers over at Arc System Works. My God, do they know how to make a game? So I'm looking forward to seeing more from that one. It's coming out in October of 2025. We then got to look at The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. It is coming to PC. It is coming out on 3rd of April, so 4th of April here, and will include all the content included with the PS5 release. After that, we got to look at hang on, my grammar was so off there. The Boys and I'm so tired. The Boys and My Next Obsession, called Den of Wolves. Last night, I said it last night, and then Jake was like, "You actually did." I said, "You know what game we should go and check out, boys? Payday 3. Like, I feel like that game passed us by. Now I just say we wait for this. It looks really, really good. I think it looks really interesting.
Is it from the Payday people?
Yes, Den of Wolves is a co-op heist SPS from the creators of Payday, The Heist, Payday 2, and GTFO. In this techno thriller, you and your friends operate as criminals for hire in conflicts between rival corporations in Midway City. Gather your crew, design your plan, gear up, and execute the heist.
It looks alright. Yeah.
It looks sick, dude. I'm kind of keen. I'm like locked in.
I missed that during the show. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, wishlist that right now.
Dude, Jake was silent, and then he's he's just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna play this." That's all. Yeah, fair call. Then after that,
it's that sigh of like we don't have time.
That's there's so
and something else will have to get knocked off the rotation.
It will, bro. Like the finals is treading water as it is. But I'm keen. Dead of Wolves looks great. After this, we got this is where Jeff is making money segment. We got like the This is Xbox trailer and a whole bunch of other trailers, and then we got to look at this stuff that's coming from Hoyoverse. We got to look at Zenless Zone Zero, and we also got to look at Honkai Star Rail and what they're bringing to the tables. Then after that, we got the world's shortest trailer. We didn't get a lot, but we got enough, baby. The Year of Shadow continues. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and it's coming next year. We're getting a new Sonic Racing game. The last one was sick, and this one looks even better. We saw nothing. Oh, so excited.
When did the last one come out, roughly?
The last one would have come out.
Was it even last gen?
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, it would have been 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Probably longer. A while ago. It was great, though. It was like Sonic Racing something. It was really good, though. It was really, really good. I'm so close to the platinum. Now I feel like I've got to go back and finish it. After that, we got we got a brand new Mafia trailer that dropped the day before. You could either wait for the Game Awards to watch this trailer, or you could have loaded up an episode of Hell's Kitchen, and it would have played before that. It looks so good, dude. Mafia: The Old Country looks so freaking good. We actually have an idea of what we're doing now. You uncover the origins of organized crime in the Mafia: The Old Country, a gritty mob story set in the brutal underworld of 1900 Sicily. Fight to survive as Enzo Favara in this immersive third-person action adventure. The trailer itself definitely gave me Uncharted vibes, just like from the way the camera pans to like moving from like cutscene to action. Looks really cool. I'm excited. I'm a Mafia guy. Always have been. Mafia 3 was fine. Come at me. I'm excited to see where it goes. Are you going to play the new Mafia game when it drops? Have you got any interest at all? Or
I have a lot of interest, but I it's just again like I don't know if it's the time to justify it, but I do actually want to play like the Mafia games, like because such a broad range of people in my life enjoy those games. Like as
They're
in,
great, yeah.
it's not just one or two people that I align with; it's people that I don't align with. It's
Mm.
like you know what I mean. So it's like I really want to get in there, but and I have the Mafia 3 soundtrack on vinyl, so I feel like I need to at least give one of the games a go.
Yeah, fair enough. Next, we have a game that is so up my alley, and I hope it ends up being up your guys' alley. It's a game called Dispatch. It's a superhero workplace comedy where choices matter. Manage a dysfunctional team of misfit heroes and strategize who to send to emergencies around the city, all while balancing office politics, personal relationships, and your own quest to become a hero.
Interesting.
Did you see the trailer for this?
No, I'll just have a look now.
This is the one with Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey in it, and it is effectively it's like an old Telltale game where you like make different choices. It's like a combination between a Telltale game and Papers, Please. So you sit behind a computer and you receive phone calls from people around the city, and depending on the situation that's happening, you will then dispatch a superhero that you believe can tackle that situation. And if they yeah, so you will send Invisigal to a situation that she can't handle, she might get hurt and she'll remember that and she'll come back and she'll be mad at you. But if you send somebody that knows what they're doing, they become the hero. Everybody loves them. They'll remember you for sending them to do that. It's all about building relationships with these heroes. And the better you build your relationships, eventually your character, who is also a superhero, but they're kind of like lost a fight and their armor that was built by their billionaire father was destroyed. You're basically trying to build yourself back up to becoming a superhero again. It looks so cool. I was so on board.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm totally in. It looks so good. But if you guys haven't seen the trailer, everyone check out the trailer. It looked great. Now, when this was announced, Jeff made it seem like it was the last game. So there was a bit of disappointment from Jake and I. But I want people to understand, I am super excited about this game. We got the confirmation that an Okami sequel is in development. It is coming from Capcom and Hideki Kamiya. They are working on it. Everybody get hyped. It was just such a weird thing for him to hype up as like the last announcement. Which it wasn't. There was another one. Clearly he was trying to be like, oh, actually, there's one more thing now. Because, I mean, when you start with Harrison Ford and The Witcher 4, this is an interesting one to end on. When they're like, just so you guys know, we're announcing that development will start eventually. Like, that's what this is. Like, we're going to develop the game. We have nothing except this trailer. I was like, ooh, okay. So, yeah. Glad that wasn't the last announcement. And it kind of like... The fact that he instantly followed it up with the next I'm going to talk about, the Crimson Desert release window trailer. That's coming out late next year to everything. And a great trailer, by the way. Great gameplay. Like, I'm more and more hyped to play this game every time I see it. And it's normally I'm like, I don't need to see any more. But for this game, there's so much going on. I'm like, a little bit more would be nice. Let's keep going. Show me a little bit more. But yeah. So yeah, Akami's coming. Crimson Desert's coming. Two great looking games. Very exciting. Now... we come to it. The last game, the final announcement of the show before Game of the Year was announced. And Game of the Year was Astrobot, by the way, which I didn't see coming, but super happy that it was. They actually cleaned house at the Game Awards, and very much like big congratulations to them. They definitely deserved it. But when Jeff was like, this is coming from a very, very well-known, prestigious developer. And we were like, oh shit, who is it? And they held off on showing us who it was for so long. So long. This may be... I was like, this is one of my games of the show. This may be one of my game reveals of the year. Like, it was just so well done. We got the reveal of Naughty Dog's next game. New IP. Intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet. I'm just gonna read the little blurb here, and then we're gonna talk about it. So, the Heretic Prophet is the newest franchise in development for the PS5 console from Naughty Dog, the studio behind acclaimed series like The Last of Us and Uncharted. Set thousands of years in the future, Intergalactic puts players into the role of Jordan A. Moon, a dangerous bounty hunter who ends up stranded on Sempira, a distant planet whose communications with the outside universe went dark hundreds of years ago. Jordan will have to use all of her skills and wits if she hopes to be the first person in over 600 years to leave its orbit. What a great trailer. I'm so locked in. I loved the design of the ship. I loved that they had us like umming and ahhing about what the hell we were looking at the whole time. Great performances, great hints to like Kamal Nanjiani is in this game, and you only know that if you look at his picture. The main character in the game is a well-known actress. The vibe I'm getting from it, like she has a lightsaber for Christ's sake. I am so ready for this to become Naughty Dog's new trilogy, and I actually just can't wait to see proper gameplay and see more, which I think we're going to see a lot sooner than we think. I am very excited for this one. I was very hyped when the Naughty Dog logo came off. I cannot tell a lie. I was so thrown. I was like, there's no way. But mate, please tell me, what did you think of Intergalactic?
I I like it. I like it. I don't really know what to think. I'm just kind of like surprised, you know. It's like it's almost like I'm not saying I'm the biggest follower of Naughty Dog, but it's like their games have like matured as we've matured.
Mm.
And I can't tell if this game is going to be like even more mature than The Last of Us, or if it's like sort of a step back, but not in a bad way, but just a step back in, you know, maybe not being as serious. Like I'm sure the story will be serious, but like I'm looking at glowing Adidas sneakers on her. You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's like what's going on there? And I saw some stuff online where people were talking about, you know, maybe this game, you know, has a message about capitalism or something. Like maybe there's some very serious things in this tone, like in this game. So I don't want to say it's a step backwards. I would hate for anyone to think that, but I am interested to see the direction, because I feel like if you said, "Hey Jack, predict where Naughty Dog will go next," I'd be like, yeah, even more serious than The Last of Us, and a message about the end of the world or something like that that's a little bit more closer to home than ants eating zombies, or ants to zombies or whatever. You know, maybe that's in the cards, but I don't know. I'm excited. It's a thing with Naughty Dog where it's like, regardless of this trailer, this game will be great, and you wouldn't want to say otherwise. You know, the game will be a hit. I did see a couple of videos online of people live reacting to this and not liking it, and then like the Naughty Dog logo comes up, and suddenly it's like, okay, I'm sure it'll be a great game. Like
Oh my god.
you sort of have to get in line at that point, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? People are excited about it because it's Naughty Dog. I was locked in from the get go. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's interesting as hell. Like, it was just such a
Oh no, yeah, I'm the same as you. Like
yeah,
I'm intrigued from the get go, but it was like once the Crash Bandicoot thing came up, I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. Like doesn't
yeah,
matter, you know, I don't have to sit here anymore and figure out what this is. It's gonna be
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I just seen the port, like the fucking ship she's in's a Porsche.
yeah. The Porsche.
How
Yeah.
many fucking things are in this fucking trailer?
So
Yeah, it
many,
doesn't matter.
so many. I think
Um,
Jake shared something before that it was like space travel became very possible during the 60s. So I'm assuming that, like, you know, because space travel became such a thing, like, that's why she's wearing Adidas sneakers, and that's why it's very
so brands that
future
we know
retro.
today moved into like space industry, or
Yeah,
like as in, yeah. Oh, interesting. I'm
very retro future.
the Adidas, the Porsche logos, all that sort of stuff, that indicates to me just how big like gaming is and Naughty Dog is, because like I understand why some people might instantly like knee jerk reaction things a negative thing, but it what it says to me, like think about Forza, right? We've got to delist Forza every 4 years
Mm,
because all these fucking licenses and shit become a problem.
yeah,
I can't imagine this game's gonna get delisted in 4 years. Like these companies are signed up to be set in stone in this game.
yeah. These companies came running to be
That's
involved.
what I mean, and maybe there is a message in there that sort of hints that it's a bad thing. I don't know, but it's yeah. I think it excites me that Naughty Dog's doing something new, because
Yeah.
they're so massive. Like they push the medium forward so much, and I don't get me wrong. I hope The Last of Us Part 3 is still on the cards one day. That second
Oh, I'm
team,
sure
but
it is. I just think everyone's so fucking depressed after the second one. They needed something to cleanse the palate.
I really hope we get this and then Part 3, and then maybe that wraps The Last of Us up forever potentially.
You know, I could see us getting this, a sequel to this, and then part three.
Yeah, if that's what it takes, that's fine as well. I selfishly really want the Part 3,
Yep.
but I'm more than happy to wait if something like this is coming out in between. Because man, like I sort of said to you today, Concord deserves a single player. Here it is.
Yeah, do you think when Concord went downhill, Naughty Dog for a second was kind of like, uh-oh.
Oh, I wonder if it was the opposite. Where it's like, oh, thank fuck. Like now we're gonna roll on through with a free pass. We're not gonna get compared. We're not gonna get like. This game just has such a similar vibe.
Yeah, and people are all about it, which is great. No, I'm excited. I'm keen.
I hope that I'm the way it's written about the planet. So like the planet we're going down to is no one's left in 600 years.
Yeah.
Makes me think the game's going to be just set on the planet. Like it's not actually going to be a space game. Like it's just going to be a
I
game
agree.
on another world.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. I don't actually want to be flying around in a spaceship a whole ton. Like I'd rather spend the whole game on the planet, and then maybe at the end we get off the planet and the sequel can be something else that's crazy.
I 100% think that's how this game ends. I think this game is going to end with you completing the mission of getting off the planet. I think you're going to break through orbit, and I think how this game ends is you're going to get your first look at Earth 600 years after anybody was able to get there. I think Earth is going to be so drastically different from this. Like it would be interesting if like
we haven't come from Earth.
Yeah, like I think right, like it's set in the future, but like the thing that was shared earlier is like space travel became so commercially available and everything in the 60s, right? So it's like all these people have clearly left Earth in the 60s in their Porsches with their freaking Adidas freaking sneakers and stuff, and they've gone and they've branched out into space. And these guys have been cut off from Earth and the rest of the galaxy for 600 years. Once they break free, once she gets back to Earth, Earth is going to be so drastically different from anything. It's almost like she's Star-Lord. You know what I mean? She stayed in the 60s, and everybody else has progressed forward.
Yeah, she's taken the technology and the culture of the 60s, fucked off, comes back.
Yep.
And suddenly Earth is just wildly advanced.
Yeah, and I think that's what you explore in the sequel, like introducing like the old to the new, how has the planet progressed forward, like in a world where clearly technology and space travel was so commercially and readily available so much earlier than we will ever get to experience it. Like, how does that affect the world? You know what I mean? Were there more world wars? Did war completely end? Did we branch out even further? Like, are there different factions of like, is there a space colony going to war with Earth? You know, like there could be so many different ways to where they could take it. And I think that's literally how this game ends. We're like, she's back at Earth, and Earth is so different.
Another thought though, what if the planet we're trying to escape is Earth?
I mean, that would be super interesting as well. I think that's a really interesting way to put it. Yeah. I mean, what if it's a prison? And they don't know it's a prison. Like, you know, like people have been imprisoned here for so long, and that's why they can't get out. It's like there's so many ways they could take it, and it's like we could do a whole episode just like trying to predict where this game will go. So
what I'll say is this is not a game that you, I, or anyone should sleep on.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think the fact that it's Naughty Dog, don't sleep, people. Like, drip up every bit of information you can get about this game because it looks freaking awesome. I mean, she has a freaking lightsaber, guys. A lightsaber. Freaking awesome. But that was the big announcement and the last announcement from this year's Game Awards. Jack.
I feel like it really makes up for all the leaks from Naughty Dog over the years.
Oh, it really does. It really, really does. Honestly, they owed him one.
They did, and they have paid the price.
They did it. Jack, on the 1-up scale, which is being refined as we speak, out of 10, what do you give the Game Awards for 2024?
Or maybe a 9.5, I reckon. I think for pacing and like, it's always that thing, right? Where it's like, do I rate it based on the quality of the announcements? Because Jeff only gets what he gets to work with. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if PlayStation brought a PlayStation 6, I'd be like, oh, that's a 10 out of 10 show. But like, really, is that the fault of Jeff or you know what I mean? Yeah. So in terms of him working with what he's got, 10 out of 10. Pacing was great. Concerts baked in, the awards, 10 out of 10 from Jeff's perspective. Probably 9 out of 10 on the announcements, just for me personally. Just wasn't a whole ton that, a few games for me, don't get me wrong, but I'd probably go a 9 personally, but a 10 out of 10 show. So maybe a 9.5. How'd you feel about it overall?
I think it was very good. I think this is the best Game Awards we've ever had. I think
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah.
I think the only problem I have is it's so freaking long. Like, it's so long. So long. And for a show called the Game Awards, there are so many times where he's like, let's power through these 4 game awards and then move on to more announcements. It's like,
problem is though, every time he doesn't power through them, everyone complains.
which is totally fair. I get that. He's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it's almost like maybe instead of having a half an hour pre-show, we have an hour and a half pre-show. That way people who, you know, like you can get some of those, you can pay the bills, you can get some of those smaller games that clearly want to be on the stage. Like you can, you know, make sure people know hour and a half pre-show. That way we can make the actual show, people who want to come in and are there for massive announcements or the awards themselves can just literally be there for like, sit down for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Because like I sat here for like 4 hours and 40 minutes today and my ass is so sore. So sore.
You're not wrong.
You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
I'm wrestling a 2-year-old and he's like, he's getting bored. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. We've got to sit here. We've got to sit here, mate.
No, very fair. Very fair.
But no, I would say.
No, I agree. Best show. The Xbox Series X will go down as the best announcement for me still.
Yeah, that's super fair.
But the second half of that year was a slog. So it doesn't. Yeah, this is better.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm between a 9 and a 10 because like a lot of these announcements were like right up my alley. But it's just the length, you know what I mean? Like you had Harrison Ford, The Witcher, Naughty Dog, the Yakuza team. You just had some
10 out of 10 for
announcements. Yeah, banger announcents.
The length is true, but at this point, I hear what you're saying with the pre-show. Don't get me wrong, but like the only way to cut down the length of the main show would really just be have less things.
Yeah.
And that's just not gonna sort of.
Nah, it's not viable with how much he's clearly putting into the show. Like he needs to.
I'll say now again. I know I dropped out for the last hour, but like didn't get bored at all. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
no.
There's been some years where you sort of end up on Twitter or Instagram for half the show, and wasn't this show.
I think the only time I like Jake and I just didn't care was when Snoop Dogg was performing because it's like we didn't need to watch it, so we just did our Pokemon TCG for the day while that was happening. There was
I like the concerts are baked in.
There was a lull during the show where it felt like we were getting to the point where it was like, all right, cool, this is where the show's paid for. This is where we're going to get a bunch of commercials. This is where the celebrities are going to do their thing, and then we just came straight back to it, which is fine.
Sure, it does need to be paid for though. So
exactly. We can't be mad about it. But yeah, all in all, great show, great Game Awards, and looking forward to next year's. Great anniversary show, honestly. People came to support, and you love to see it.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, really good. Oh, mate, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, mate, anytime. Any bloody time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to let us know what you thought of the Game Awards this year. If you're on YouTube, let us know down in the comments or come over to the Discord and have a conversation. Everybody's always there ready to have a conversation about this fun stuff. But that is going to do it from us this week. It's been a very, very long day. I'm glad we got to the end of the podcast. That was my tick off. Like, once I get to the end of the podcast, I can sign off mentally for the day. I don't need to do anything else anymore. But yeah, great show. Might be a 10 out of 10. Definitely a 9 out of 10. Had a great time.
Close enough, at least.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's close enough.
I'm going to complain about a 9.
Close enough. But ladies and gentlemen, you can keep up to date with everything Jack and I are doing over on oneupgames.com. There are links to that everywhere. Links to the Discord, links to the Twitch, links to all that fun stuff. If you're over here on the YouTube, do not forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. It really does help, and we really do appreciate it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it from us this week. We really do appreciate you taking the time to listen, watch, and hang out with us. Until next time, may all of your games be good ones, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.